If they don't just give me,
It says streaming live on YouTube. I didn't get the YouTube thing, didn't pop up. Interesting.
oh,
Oh, okay, I see it, and I see my big head. All right, so I just need to share this. Now, this is where it takes a long time. Let's see. Two. And I could have put everyone in a group. I still haven't done that.
I think we'll just talk about this removal of Boston statue.
Yeah, I like it because that's. I mean, because that's what's happening and good for the people. They're like, listen, we taking this stuff down.
You know it.
All right. I'm gonna throw one on. We didn't share on Facebook, right? I'll do
Yeah, I
that.
did.
You did? Okay. Did you tag me?
Oh man, I don't think I know how to tag.
It's okay. I get it. I'll tag Dave just in case.
All right. Everybody in YouTube land, we just trying to get all this stuff out, but we're gonna get back to you very soon. Oh, they loving the polka dots. They love the polka dots.
I'm not on Tinder, I swear. I'm on Plenty of Fish.
Oh gosh.
It's even like worse, right? Okay. I tagged you guys on Facebook. One more.
We're almost done, everybody. About to get the show rolling soon. We're just sending out the links and notifications to everybody so that they can join in. Oh, if you can, if you can, everybody out there, the usual suspects. Thank you. Want to welcome the usual suspects back to the stream. I'm actually about to put the link in the chat, and if you guys can, share this in your circles, that'll be so dope. If not, no worries. Just the fact that you guys are here, says a lot.
All right. I think we got everyone.
Everybody out there in YouTube land, I hope y'all weekend is going good. Your Saturday, is going well. You hanging out with your friends or family. Social distancing, of course. Coronavirus is real. It's still out there, and Cardi B will let you know.
Oh, she sure will. My gosh. Hi, everyone.
Oh, they want to know where the After Dark edition is.
Oh, right. We haven't done it.
We gotta get Brother Oreos. That's Brother Oreos thing right there. He got the After Dark. What's up After Dark? Trademark, TM, all of that. Copywritten, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta get on that.
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely gotta get on the What's Up After
people
Dark.
That are gonna be up late enough, they fall asleep, pretty early. So I don't know how to do that.
Y'all gotta take the Red Bull, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all gotta take the Red Bull, show them wings for the What's Up After Dark, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta be ready for that. So are you ready to get the show going?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, I think the people are ready too. So let's give it to them. You ready? One.
Oh, right. I forgot. I'm like, wait, what are we giving? Okay, no, I got it. Okay, go.
Ready? It's about to be a good show. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yo, 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 what's going on, man? It's your boy Frosty McNuggetts. And this is your first time tuning in. We're a local online news show. We talk about local, national, and international news. I'm your co-host, Frosty McNuggets.
I'm Frosty Knowledge. And my dog
Yeah.
is crying in the background, like really crying.
Uh-oh.
You hear that?
That's your dog?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Final want to get out. That's what that is. That's what that is.
Yeah, he does. Oh my God. And he only comes to me like, where's everyone? Hold it down. I'm sorry, everyone. Hold it down. I'm going to get someone to get him so he can be out of here because he's going to be in my lap in 1 second.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Hold it down. Be right back.
So everybody, I hope you guys again are enjoying your weekend, this Saturday. There is somebody that is manning the comment section. So it's not me directly, all right? But I do have my son watching the show. And he's in the comment section. So if you see like random faces and smileys, that's my son. He's manning the comment section. I'll make sure that I'll let you know when it's me typing versus him. So just remember that. But I hope everybody's doing good. That's his hand. I hope everybody's doing good on this lovely day. You're having a great weekend. I know I said that probably about 4 times already.
Is everyone having a good weekend? Yeah.
Oh, that's 5. That's 5 times.
Everyone having a good weekend? How was your weekend?
My weekend's going pretty good. You know, I had to take a quick break. So full disclosure, this is going to be a quick show. I got some more painting to do, some things around the house, but other than that, I'm doing good. I got my son with me, you know, doing good, doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good weekend. My daughter graduated last weekend, and Ayanna Presley spoke at their graduation via recorded message. How cool is that? So
that's really dope. Cool. That's dope. Yeah. Big shout out to Ayanna Presley, one of Massachusetts state reps.
Yeah.
Part of the squad, which consists of AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashid Tlaib, and of course, our state's own Ayanna Presley. Right. They don't take no ish from nobody. If there's a social issue that needs to be talked about, you know, they out there in the forefront, you know, smacking faces and taking names. Like, they don't play.
They are.
Especially Ayanna, now that she done went full bald. What?
Listen, never lose now. I'm bald, no hair.
Oh, that's like windstream. Like, that's like a swimmer in the water. The less hair you have.
Right. But it's crazy because you always thought like hair was your strength.
Right.
She's more strong without it.
Yo, she's powerful. So again, big shout out to our very own Ayanna Presley holding it down. Also, big shout out to the friend of the show. Is she a friend? I don't know. I think so. I will call her a friend. City council lady or woman, Julia Mija.
Yes.
She be doing a thing. Definitely out there fighting the causes. I know one of the things she was trying to do was get cheaper parking meters. You know what I mean? For people that got parked downtown.
Right.
And going and doing
tickets. Pandemic, or just in general? Is that because of the pandemic?
In general, where, you know, trying to lower the rates at meters. And if you do get a ticket, it's based off your income.
Right.
There's a couple people on both sides that, you know, people push back, people for it.
Right.
But I think, overall, we need somebody like that, that's putting out these progressive ideas, and just getting the conversation started.
Right.
We're trying to, make it to where in almost every aspect, there's a benefit for the people. You
Right.
may not think about parking meters that much, but think about it. What is it? Almost like $2 for like an hour? No, 45 minutes.
I don't even know, but it is expensive.
Yeah, like, I work downtown. I had to park at the meters a couple times, but I think it's like maybe
All
dollar
day?
70 for, huh?
All day?
Yeah,
Oh, how much was that?
it probably total might have came out to like $8, $10, something like that.
Not that bad
No.
considering the parking lots are like 40,
Oh, parking. It's
50 a day. 40, 50, 60 a day.
Yeah, yeah, easy. The cheapest parking lot, and this for everybody in the Boston area that works downtown, or if you need to go downtown and need a place to park, the parking garage right next to Faneuil Hall. That's the cheapest one I've seen. $26, I think, for the day.
Yeah, that's not bad. I bet that fills up pretty quick.
$26. Believe it or not, it gets full, but not like that because
It
the space.
will get full when we go back to work full force.
Yeah.
No one's gonna want to be on the train.
No, no, no. That's a good point. So,
They may raise that price actually.
yeah, and again, $26 for the day. That's one of the cheapest parking garages downtown. They do get more expensive than that,
Yeah.
but it's right next to Faneuil Hall. I mean, it's a location thing, but a lot of people do park there. I've parked there plenty of times. Again, like I said, $26 for the day. But if you add that up over a week, you're spending some change. But again, for everybody that needs to go downtown Boston, parking garage right next to Faneuil Hall, $26 a day. It may be cheaper if you're only going to be there for like an hour or two.
I mean, that's good to know.
Yeah, what about you though? What do you?
You gotta ask me how was my weekend?
Yeah, exactly. How's your weekend going? Right,
Yeah,
right. But no,
yeah. I haven't done anything this weekend. Again, she graduated last weekend, so that was kind of cool. The parade thing that we did. We drove up the street. There's I don't know what happened.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why I got kicked off. You hear me?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
But I can't see anything, which is crazy.
You might have hid your. I'm sorry, everybody. Technical difficulties. I see you just fine.
You see me?
Yeah.
I don't see you. So I don't know what happened. Like it's just gone. Oh, what?
I see you. I see you still fine.
Oh, and hey there, I'm Bolt, the Zoom virtual assistant. I operate best when asked short questions. Like
And
the
hit
Zoom
Siri
assistant.
for Zoom. That's
No,
what happened, y'all. She
what
hit
the
Siri
heck?
for Zoom.
No, a Zoom, here it is. A Zoom assistant popped up and asked me if I needed help.
Oh.
The virtual assistant. I'm back.
That's new. That's new.
I think something was trying to download. There was like an automatic download that just, I don't know, whatever. But she graduated. It was cool. We had a parade, fun times.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, congrats to her, and I hope she does big things in the future.
Me too. Trying to
All right. Yo, so with that being said, we're about to start the show like always. We're gonna start off with a little bit of Black facts. We celebrate Black History 365, 24/7. Black History Month isn't just a 1 day or 1 month thing for us. It's every day, and we like to share a little bit of our history with you, regardless if you're Black, white, Asian, whatever. So we got a couple Black facts today. Black facts for June the 13th. We have Miss Eleanor Holmes. She was born in June 13th, 1937 in Washington, D.C. Hold on, I'm just getting a little more information. Sorry about that, everybody. She entered Annettock College in Yellow Springs, Ohio. In 1955, she became heavily involved in civil rights while attending college. She also headed the local National Association for the Advancements of Colored People, or AKA the NAACP. Well, she was the head person for the local NAACP
Right.
in her town, as I clarify. And she's still rocking and kicking with us today. So big shout out to Miss Eleanor Holmes.
There's so many civil rights activists that did so much work that we don't even know about,
Yep.
you know. It's like
It's there's so many, I hope that we can look at the future activists and
right,
people
right,
that's in the civil rights, not only say civil rights movement, but that's out there today. The lovely sisters that started the Black Lives Matter movement.
right,
We got to start. I mean, it's definitely good to look back at our past and see, the people who paved the way, but at the same time, we have to acknowledge the activists and people that are out there today.
right,
Give them their flowers while they're still here and not have to wait
right,
until they pass. So we definitely got to do that.
right.
And give them mad love and honor. Um, those are our heroes, Candace Owens. Those are the people that we uplift in our community.
While she's uplifting white fragile men. Yes.
Yeah, like those the people that are out there on the front lines, those are our heroes. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And we all know about like Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, the main people that we always see when a tragedy happens. But let's talk about the newer activists, the newer generation, the younger generation, the one that started Black Lives Matter, the one that's the people that's out there getting the younger generation, activated and passionate about,
Well, we will. I think, it takes time for them to become the legends that they are. They're gonna
yeah,
have to put the work in, right? You give
definitely,
them the work
definitely,
a couple of years and then like, okay, we wanna, no, because I'm sure Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Medgar Evers and all of them when they were really young, or Sharpton especially,
mm-hmm.
he had to look up to, he looked up to Jackson, Reverend
Right,
Jackson,
right,
right?
right,
Nobody knew who Al Sharpton was. So he had to put his time in, and he's proven that it is who he is. Like he's walked the talk all these years and never changed.
right. So we definitely got to give a big shout out to all the activists,
Yeah.
the young and old.
Right.
So again, big shout out to Miss Eleanor Holmes, doing her thing, in the fight for civil rights, equal justice, all of that. So big shout out to her. We're gonna move right along. We got a couple more. I want to give we have the next one we have is Thomas Blind Tom Wiggins. He was born in 1849 and died in 1909. Who is this Thomas Blind Tom Wiggins, you ask?
I've
Good
heard
question.
that
Good
name.
question.
Who is that?
Thomas, huh?
I said, who is that? I've heard that name.
Thomas Green Wiggins was born May 25th, 1849, to Mungo and Charity Wiggins, slaves on a Georgia plantation. He was blind and autistic, but he was a musical genius. Think about that. As
Blind
much as we
artist.
downplay people with mental health disabilities, I'm a big advocate mental health awareness, anything like that. I try to advocate for, bring normalcy to people with special needs, because they're just people just like me and you,
Right.
and this brother, Tom Thomas Blind Tom Wiggins is just another example of that. He was a musical genius. He had autism and was blind. Like you
How did
can't
they
get.
even know he had autism back then? Like, are they diagnosing it currently?
Yeah, that's
Because like no one back there was saying autism.
yeah. So
Wow.
this just must be kind of like updated. But he was
Right.
blind and
Right.
had autistic. He was a musical genius, and had a phenomenal memory. In 1850, Tom and his parents and two brothers were sold to James Neal Bethune, a lawyer and a newspaper editor in Columbus, Georgia. Young Tom was fascinated by music and other sounds and could pick out tunes on the piano by the age of 4.
Wow.
That's dope. He made his concert debut at 8.
Performing for the white master and his friends, I'm sure.
Yeah. But despite that, you know what I'm saying? He was a musical genius. He was blind and had autism. That just shows that we definitely need to, one, have a better understanding of people with mental health disabilities.
Right.
They are people just as well as able-bodied people. We can't be putting people down like that. I truly cannot stand when people talk about somebody that has autism, schizophrenia, who may be manic, anybody with a mental health disability. I don't like people downplaying because they don't have any idea. And that's just not right. They're people too. But
Remember Trump defunded the Special Olympics?
yeah, he sure enough did.
He
He
sure
sure enough did.
and made fun of them at his Klan rally. So
Yeah, like that's horrible.
yeah,
Uh,
we got
so I'm gonna read one more. Then I'm gonna read some of the comments from the usual suspects. Again, shout out to all the usual suspects. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, share. Share this video with all your friends. Let them know, check it out. We be dropping knowledge. Shit, we got Frosty knowledge part of the show. So knowledge is coming everywhere. But please like, share, subscribe to this show. And yeah, we're gonna move right along on to the last black fact for the day. This is very important. One thing that we always like to talk about on the show and push: vote, 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 vote. Register, vote, 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 vote. We definitely push that a lot. Flex your voting muscle. And with that being said, we're going to segue into the last black fact. The first Black Supreme Court Justice, Thurgood Marshall.
Yes.
Yes, Thurgood Marshall, the U.S. Solicitor General, named to the Supreme Court by President Johnson. He was confirmed by the Senate on August 3rd, became the first Black Supreme Court Justice. So big shout out to Thurgood Marshall. Please, if you haven't registered to vote and you are appalled by the situation that happened to George Floyd, and you're tired of seeing unarmed Black men get killed by police,
women and children.
Women, yes. If you're tired of seeing women and men, unarmed,
and children,
Black and children get killed by police officers, please, please, in order to do anything and to see a change, you have to vote. You have to vote for your local politicians, your city council, because these are the people that can hold cops accountable. Mainly your DA, the district attorney. That is the most important person when it comes to law, and someone that can actually do something against these corrupt police officers.
Absolutely.
So please, if you are appalled by what you're seeing on TV with George Floyd protests, if you're tired of seeing that, please register to vote. That's the only way, one of the main ways we're actually going to see a change.
Right. Imagine if the Minneapolis DA wasn't who he was. They wouldn't be bringing any charges against those men. Or
Facts.
the charges, it wouldn't even have been upgraded. You know, it's what is his name? Ellis?
Yes.
Yeah,
Something Ellis.
yeah, yeah. So imagine if they had one of Trump's cronies up there, nothing would happen. So it definitely is important. Oh my, so very important that we
Yep.
are out here voting, doesn't, if we can hold the line to get the newest iPhone, hold the line to get the newest Jordans. We out here in a pandemic protesting, some people with masks, some without masks. We damn sure can hold a line and vote,
Mm-hmm.
cast our ballot. It doesn't matter. 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours, we got to vote. We got to do it.
Yep, we sure do. We sure do.
Pre-register your kids. If you have children that are almost of voting age, I think at 17, you can pre-register them to vote.
Nice, nice. And
And
it's
it
explaining what voting is.
right. Yeah, so it's important.
Very important, very important. So with that being said, this ends our segment of Black Facts. Excuse me. Hope you guys learned something today, something useful. Um, and with that being said, we're gonna jump right into quick comments from the usual suspects. Again, thank you all for always showing up. We love the interaction. We love your enthusiasm. So keep those comments rolling. But let's look at what the usual suspects have been talking about. Again, they love the polka dot dress on point. Bring it on. What's up, people? Of course, they're talking about what's up after dark.
Oh yeah.
Where's Oreo? So unfortunately, brother Oreo is busy right now. He couldn't make it with us today, but he should be with us next week when we go live on Thursday. But if he can make it and he jumps on, you already know it ain't a full show without brother Oreo, Frosty Oreos, the host with the most.
Yeah.
So yeah, he couldn't make it, but hopefully he'll be with us on Thursday when we go. Let's see, we got some inner talking. I love it. I love to see the inner talking amongst the usual suspects. I got a question. Where's my son? He be clubbing and didn't walk the dog. Unfortunately, he's 8, so he ain't doing no clubbing, and I ain't got no dog.
Wait, are they talking about my son?
Oh, they talking about your son.
And my dog? Like, I don't know. I didn't see that.
Oh, okay. Boom.
Maybe that's what it is. It's not his dog. That's the problem. It's my kid's daughter, my daughter's dog.
Okay, there it is. We got a big shout out that says, congrats to Frosty's daughter, and they said it's dope that Ayanna Presley spoke at the graduation.
Yeah, I was surprised too. That was really awesome. It was great. She's beautiful.
We got some more inner talkings that seems funny. I'm gonna read it just because it seems funny. We got from our friend Holland. How you gonna be 6 foot twerking in the club though?
Well, who's twerking in the club?
I don't know. Again, I love the comments. I love how you guys be going back and forth. I love it. Hopefully we can build a bigger community.
It says Sig Oreo Night, the host with the most.
We got one Frosty at assistant be like, all I want is a zoom and a boom boom. Funny. They standing up now, so proud at the next gen. Ain't nobody bashing millennials on my watch no more. Nope. The millennials are killing it right now.
Yes.
And that's what we need. We need the younger generation to take the reins, to stand up to oppression, injustices. We need the younger generation to do that.
We need them at the ballot box too. We really need y'all
first and foremost. Yes.
To the ballot box. Like, this is all great, but they have to take the same energy to the ballot box. We get it.
Fact,
Biden's
fact.
not exciting. A lot of these guys are not exciting, but it's going to be exciting to get Trump out.
Yes, I
Let,
can't wait for that day.
yeah, exactly. We got to get him out.
Right. We got another one saying, did he say Candace? Yes, I did. And she's a horrible person. She's a grifter. Don't take everything she says with a grain of salt. She is not for the culture. She is not for the people. Like uh, Sister Knowledge said, she's well, I can't remember what you said, but you said something along the lines of she's a horrible person.
She is. She's a grifter, and she lets white racists teach her Black history. That is what she said. Unless she's suing, for racial discrimination, then she's Black. But other than that, she is a
Yeah,
horrible person.
horrible person. I just watched. If you guys get a chance, hopefully I can find the link and leave it on our Facebook page. But if you haven't seen 846, the Dave Chappelle stand up, it is phenomenal. I'm gonna leave it at that because you have to watch it and experience it for yourself. I experienced it. It was great. It was Dave Chappelle is the man. It's on Netflix as a joke, on YouTube. It's called 846. It's about 27 minutes. I wish it was a full hour, but he's the man. I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all need to go check it out. 846 on YouTube. It's a Dave Chappelle stand up. It's about 27 minutes, something like that. But it's dope, and I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. So with that, Miss Knowledge, you ready to get this going with the topics that you got for today?
Yeah, I just have one topic,
All right.
but it's like a couple of segments to it. You guys know I like storytelling and all that and segues. So, as you know, Donald Trump had decided to have his Klan rally, AKA his political rally, in Tulsa on June 19th. That's problematic. And I don't know if everybody knows why it's problematic, but June 19th is the day the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. And it's the day that, Black people celebrate our freedom. It's called actually Freedom Day, correct? I think. So that's problematic to have a Klan rally. And maybe I shouldn't call it Klan rally because this is the news, but I think it's a Klan rally. I mean, what other kind of rally is there that has Confederate flags and people yelling, "Make America Great Again"? And there's just Black people in the audience. So it is a Klan rally. So it's a horrible day to have a rally like that. And actually, when he was questioned about it, he said something like, it's a celebration. His rallies are a celebration. So there shouldn't be a problem with it, right? It's the same. And it's not the same because he's actually having it in Tulsa. And there's Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's no good place for a Klan rally. Let me just say that. But Tulsa is a horrible place because that is where the Tulsa massacres happened. I don't know if anyone knows about the Tulsa massacres, and I didn't know a lot about it. Like I had heard, so I did a little research about Black Wall Street and the Tulsa massacres. So let's start the lesson at Black Wall Street. So,
School us on what that is.
So Black Wall Street is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was started by this man named Ottawa Gurley, Gurley. And of course, Black Wall Street, you think it must be a place where there's a lot of well-to-do Black people. And basically that's what it is. So I always wondered, how did it start? So this guy, Ottawa Gurley, he used to work for Grover Cleveland's presidential administration.
Okay.
Way back when, obviously there were some Black people that did pretty well. I don't know what his job was in the administration. I mean, he could have been a cook, but even a cook in a presidential administration is gonna make good money for that time.
Yeah.
Well, he was able to save a lot of money, he and his wife, and he bought 40 acres in Tulsa, Oklahoma. There's a railroad in the middle on the north side. And he built a grocery store there. So the grocery store started making money, so he decided to make some row houses there as well. So then he partnered with
Real quick, what's a row house?
like a row of houses.
Oh, okay, got you.
Like
Got
early projects.
you. right.
Instead of going up, it was just like a row of them.
Yep, got you.
Row houses and boarding houses so you could fit.
It's 7 o'clock.
Sorry, fit more Black people in there. So he started that, and he partnered with another businessman. So Ottawa, he called himself OW.
Okay.
And the men back there, the wealthy men in Black Wall Street, called themselves by their initials because they didn't want to be disrespected. So if they didn't use their name, so if your name is Earl Brown, the white people weren't going to call you Mr. Brown. They were going to call you Earl or Boy. So to get rid of that, they just called themselves EB. That white people had to call them EB. They would be calling them their first initial and the initial of their last name. So there's no disrespect there. They couldn't do it unless they call them Boy, of course.
Yeah.
So anyway, so OW and JB got together and they started opening up some businesses, and they opened up like an employment agency and other things like that. And what's interesting, and this happens today, so white businessmen started hearing about what was going on in Tulsa, and it became Greenwood Ave. This is where like those row houses were, and that's why they called the Greenwood District. So Black Wall Street is the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So white people started hearing about this. So what they did was they too started buying land in the Greenwood District and selling it to other Black people, right? Probably at a higher cost. But Black people bought it. They would buy and they moved in, and that's how it became Black Wall Street. They had a Black pilot. They had Black bankers, doctors, lawyers, dentists, churches.
Respectable people of the community.
So south of Greenwood District, across the railroad, there were white people, watching all this happen and getting upset. They would say things like, and these are the accounts because I watch videos of like, Black people that were children back then gave interviews like 10 years ago. They were like in their 80s and 90s. They would say what the white people would say, like, how could they have a grand piano in their living room and I don't have one? So they were jealous, right? Okay, so that is what Black Wall Street is. So it's problematic for Trump to have his Klan rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, because that is also where the massacre happened. So let's get into the massacre, and that is part 2. So the massacre was, it's kicked off with, I only know their last names, I don't remember their first names, a white woman named Paige and a Black man named Roland. Paige was an elevator operator on the south side of the Greenwood District, right? Because white people had their own city over there. She was an elevator operator. Roland worked as a shoe shine boy also on that side because, Black people also worked, on the south side as well, which sounds like the Black side, but it was actually the right side. Right, so they would see each other all the time because he would get permission to use the bathroom in the building that Paige was the elevator operator in. So one fateful day, he was in the elevator going to the bathroom or coming from, I don't know which one. The elevator emptied out on this day, leaving just Paige and Roland in that elevator alone. She screams, the elevator door opens, and he runs out, right? Because what else do you do during that time when a white woman screams?
Yeah, of course.
You run. You don't stay because you already know, like, hell, I'm in trouble. I mean, look at Emmett Till.
Yeah,
He's
she
in
was the
trouble.
first Karen.
Right, right. You're in trouble. So she said that he assaulted her. Historians are saying that he may have tripped or something with the elevator moved and he touched her to grab his balance, but not meaning to touch her. And she screamed. Anyway, he ran. So her screaming and saying he assaulted her turned into him raping her. All in that short time. Like now the rumor is he raped her. So the white people in the South went over to Black Wall Street, got him, took him to the courthouse, right? So now the black men know what's going to happen to him. Even before trial, before anything, they're going to kill this boy. And he wasn't even old. He was young. So they went with their shotguns and their guns over to the South Side to make sure that he's okay, right? What's happening? So a tussle occurred with a white man with a shotgun and an unarmed black man. They fought because the white man was like, you need to go back across the tracks, whatever. Mind you, Paige never wanted to press charges. She said it and then she recanted her story and said she didn't want to press charges, but white people.
Yeah.
Not all white people, but these white people.
These particular ones at that, yeah.
Right. So they fought, the black man and the white man with the rifle. The white man with the rifle ended up getting shot. The black people of the Black Wall Street now know this is war. So they retreat back across the bridge to try to warn people. And there are thousands of residents. This isn't like, 20 homes. It's a neighborhood, it's like, I forgot is it 32 square? I don't know distance, but it was big,
Yeah, it was a good sized neighborhood.
Right. So they tried to warn everyone that something was going to happen. They didn't get a chance to warn everyone. So white people came with guns, bombs. They destroyed it. They toppled, set fire to the neighborhood. People fled, took the kids, ran out, but it didn't stop them from killing like thousands of Black men, women, and children. So that is the massacre that happened at Tulsa. And for Donald Trump to even want to have, now he's changed it from the 19th to the 20th, for him to even want to have that there is like, it's just a slap in the face. And people are like, well, I wonder if he knew. He did know. Steve Miller, who is the white supremacist, works for him.
Oh boy, he asked Steve Miller to pick a date.
Exactly. What do you think would be the worst possible thing to them, them people? Because, he's never addressed George Floyd other than saying he would be happy to see this economy. But he's never addressed it. He never, even today at the West Point graduation, take a chance to heal race relations, because this was the most diverse class they've had. There's like over 100 Black people graduating. There's more girls graduating. Asians graduated today. It's the most diverse class graduating. He didn't take the chance to even talk about that. How do you not talk about that? What? Wow.
He doesn't have he's not self-aware.
Is he not self-aware? He just doesn't care, but he wants conveyor of everything Black. I do this for Black people. I've done the most. Like, how can he keep saying that when he does
right? What do you got to lose? Well, we got a lot to lose, brother. A lot.
Vote. So that is the story of the Tulsa massacre. That is why Donald Trump having that Klan rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma, even the day after Freedom's Day, is still savagely racist. Those people are still trying to heal, because for years and years, no one talked about it. No one in Oklahoma talked about it. I didn't learn about this in history.
Hmm. I didn't learn about history until after I got out of school.
Right. My kids didn't learn about this. They didn't know. They only knew from like outside of school. So wow, it's kind of crazy.
It is kind of crazy because that one is you're you're not giving the full information, and history books is one of the main ways you can brainwash a new generation
Right.
of minds, of young minds.
Right.
By controlling what's in the history books, you can control the narrative.
Right.
And if the younger generation, white or black, if they don't know about what happened, and you don't give them the right context, because I know there was a couple history books that came out in Texas a couple years ago. Instead of saying they were slaves, they were just saying
Indentured servants.
indentured servants, or which is a real thing.
Of
Being
course.
an indentured servant, that's a real thing, but that's not what was happening during slavery. They weren't
They didn't
indentured.
get paid.
They didn't get paid for anything, so to really control again the young minds is with history. And if you don't know what really happened, if you're not giving the right information, if you're not giving the right context,
Right.
how you perceive an event, a situation, can have great ramifications. Because if you're telling young people, the younger generation, that during slavery they weren't slaves, then a person talking about the history of Black people and what we went through and why the system is messed up, why we feel we're being oppressed and the laws are unjust. We don't have financial security, we don't have great health care. If we don't, if the kids don't have the right context for slavery, when we bring that up, they're going to be like, "What are you talking about?
Right.
They weren't slaves. They were getting paid. They were indentured servants." No,
That's
that's
why
not.
I was upset with Snoop that time where I forgot what movie came out, 13 Years a Slave or one of those, and he was like not supporting it because he was said that we had too many slave movies. Or remember he said some comment like that, and I'm just
Yeah,
like, what do you mean there's too many? How can there be too many? Like that's just like saying there's too many like Boys in the Hood movies, because there sure are a lot of those, but
yeah,
it is a depiction of what was going on in the hood. So we need to continue the depiction so it doesn't get watered down of what was really going on. And if that's the only way to do it, is to keep making movies and keep, as you say, because if they're trying to whitewash the history books, these kids need to know.
yeah.
We
Exactly,
we can't
exactly.
forget this. They can't fall asleep at the wheel. This stuff is real. Racism still exists. Don't let anyone tell you there's no white supremacy.
Yep.
There absolutely is. There absolutely is systemic racism. Don't let them use Beyonce and Jay-Z as an example of y'all Black people made it because of Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Obama. That's ridiculous.
Beyonce and Jay Z ain't y'all. Beyonce and Jay Z ain't me.
Right.
I'm not, I'm not in a big mansion flying jets across the world. Got a daughter named Blue Ivy. Like,
But
y'all
they
ain't
still
me.
Black, and they still Black, because if you erase that, and if no one saw that that was Beyonce, or no one saw that that was Jay-Z, Jay-Z still getting stopped by cops if no one knows that it's him. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
So the fact that the skin that you're in, that's all they see. That's all they want to see. And then they put in stereotypes when they see the sex, whether you're male or female. Like it's and all this happens like that.
Right.
Like like that. There's not enough time to think about what I'm gonna say next. Like there's no way that at a quick glance you can tell what a person's been through, how their day's going, their police record. Like that's what
Right.
they do in a split second. The
Right.
moment they see you, they automatically assume, oh,
Right.
There's something.
Aubrey stole, like, although
Yeah,
there was nothing on him, but that's just what they would then. If you can't find anything on him at the moment, then we're going to just dig up his history and say, oh, shoot, in 1995, he smoked weed. Like, this is
yeah.
ridiculous. It's
Like,
absolutely.
no, that's horrible. But with that being said, we're gonna kind of segue into my one topic, little local issue. Thought it was quite interesting. And after this, after I get into my topic and we, discuss it real quick, we'll get into what the
So,
comments are saying.
yeah,
Because the
there's a
comments,
lot of comments.
the usual suspects, man. Again, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for always coming and sharing your insight and even the banter amongst you guys. I love it because we do want to build a community where all the people that watch our show can talk openly, freely, without worrying about being ridiculed or talking down. We want, not trying to say this is a safe space, but this is a place where open dialogue is encouraged. Please don't, any profanity, anything like that. But
Yeah,
all
we'll
thoughts,
try to get better
ideas,
too. We'll try to get better with the profanity too, because I know I
yeah,
slipped somehow.
right. We all let them go, but this. Feel free to really have a discussion on what we're talking about and the topic. And if you guys have any topics that you would like us to discuss, please shoot us an email or on our Facebook page. Um, but please let us know. And even here, we definitely like it. We encourage the open dialogue. So please keep it going. All right. My topic, we're going to be talking about statues. Yes, statues.
Statue challenge.
Oh, they ain't ready. They ain't ready. They ain't ready for the what's up challenge. We're going to be talking about statues today. And with everything that's been going on with the whole George Floyd, the protests, um, a lot of issues that happened a couple years ago are coming back. And one of those issues is the taking down of racist monuments across the country. This topic, this discussion came up a couple years ago. Famously, you had the black lady climb the pole with the
Yeah,
flag.
what's her name? Can somebody write it down? I forgot her name.
I forgot her name too, but I remember that was such a dope moment. She was like, I don't care what y'all say, this is a racist monument. No, I think it was the Confederate flag. I think she scaled
Yeah.
the flagpole.
Capitol building or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though that's not a statue, but it's still a dope moment, and
Yeah.
that's what's been going on across the country. Um, but just that whole discussion about taking down racist monuments, at that time there was a lot of pushback from people who was like, "Oh, you're not going to take down my history." And I'm sorry, I butchered that Southern accent, but
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
did.
people, but a lot of people there was a lot of pushback for that. A couple statues did get taken down. One city took down their Confederate flag off their state house. So there was a lot of things happening, but for the most part, it was a lot of like symbolic stuff. But recently, of course, with the whole George Floyd situation and the protests, that discussion has come back tenfold.
Yeah.
And across the state, statue after statue after statue have been coming down. I love it. We are tired of having these symbols of racist. That's who Candace Owens heroes. That's who they like. That's who they represent. Talking about us and uplifting criminals and stuff. Get out of here. When did you see a statue of Freeway?
Wait, did she?
Talking about the rapper. You
Wait,
know what I'm saying?
she uplifting a criminal?
Yeah. Like, where do you see these statues at? Where do you see statues, of these mob bosses. You don't see that. We don't do that. So the
Right.
fact that she even said that we uplift criminals and villains, girl, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy with a capital crazy. We don't do that. That's what racist people do by putting up racist monuments and statues dedicated to people who oppress somebody that look like myself and Miss Knowledge, or someone that looked like, my 8-year-old son, like 9-year-old. I'm sorry, he just corrected me, 9-year-old. But you get what I'm saying? Like they put up statues of people who suppress that, who don't, follow science and who aren't logic, like we don't do that, Candace Owens. We don't do that. We
Right.
uplift our heroes. Again, the 3 sisters that started Black Lives Matter, there's other people, I'm drawing a blank, but y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying.
Right.
So all these racist statues have been coming down. Even the one in Boston. There's 2 actually in Boston that I want to talk about. The one that's on Atlantic Ave, I think, of Christopher Columbus.
Done. That's done.
Yeah, it's done. He got spray painted. I don't even respect
He
Christopher Columbus.
They decapitated him like he did the Native Americans. Just
Good. Who said it best? I think Jay-Z said it best. The only Wallace I acknowledge is Wallace. You know what I'm saying? That's the only Christopher I acknowledge. If your last name is Wallace, I rocks with you. You know what I'm saying? But that was the first issue, what I'm saying? They had a statue of Christopher Columbus, cut his head off, put Black Lives Matter. And the second one just came up earlier this week, actually. And there's a petition going around to take down the Lincoln statue that's by South Station, I think it is, over in that area.
Which is crazy, but
yeah. So there's a statue of President Lincoln over down by South Station, and you've probably passed it 1,000 times, didn't even realize it. But there's a statue with President Lincoln, and then there's a slave at his knees. And what a lot of people don't realize is there's a thing called statue iconolism, I think it is. I totally butchered that. But basically, when you look at statues, the poses that they are all represent something. The statues aren't just placed in certain positions just to be placed in those positions. They're put in those positions because the way they stand, even with the horses, and if they're on a horse, depending on what the horse is doing, all of that represents something. All that means something. And so the statue that's in the Lincoln Square here in Boston, Boston, Massachusetts, for everybody that doesn't know, not Boston, England, but shout out to everybody in England. But here in Boston, and so the President Lincoln got his hands like this, and there's a slave. I forgot his name, but he's kneeling. And so what they're trying to say is that the slave is rising for freedom.
But he's on his knees.
Like totally missed the mark. Like
mission.
If you wanted to show equal footing, if you wanted to show progress, you will show that slave standing shoulder to shoulder,
right,
with the president. That if by standing shoulder to shoulder, that represents, that's a symbolic of being equal. Right. Not one taller than the other.
Right.
On the shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
Man to man, imano.
Right. I just wanted to reiterate for a second that we don't have a problem with President Lincoln's statue, right? Because we understand he signed the Emancipation Proclamation for his own reasons, right? He kind of had to, but He did sign it, so we don't
Yeah.
have a problem with a statue of.
Credit where credit's due.
Right, right. It's the slave at his feet.
Yes.
That's
Like that totally, like nobody wants to die on their knees. Everybody wants to die standing, a free man, a free person. You know, I am my own man. And I don't mean that in a gender biased way. I just mean that as a human. I'm a human, right? I don't want to die on my knees. I want to fight and die standing up, fighting for what I believe in, fighting for my kids, for a cause, you know, something, fighting for an issue that isn't just about me. You know, it's about us. It's about the community.
right.
You know, I want to die fighting. I don't want to die on my knees. And so to have this symbol, have this person who, you know, like Frosty Knowledge said, signed the emancipation, but then you have a slave kneeling.
Right.
And again, if someone didn't tell you what that was supposed to represent, even if you didn't understand what statue symbology is or what statues mean when they're posed in a certain position, even if you didn't know any of that, if you seen somebody standing over someone else with their hands like this,
Right.
and someone on their knees, like you're gonna
Right.
be
He ain't giving them no blessing.
right, like you're
He's
not
not
thinking
anointing them.
right, you're not gonna be thinking of oh, that's positive. He's standing up for freedom. No, you're not gonna think that. You're not. You're just not. And even again, even if someone told you what all that represented, you're like, okay. But when you look at it, you be like, oh no, that don't.
It don't look right. I never saw that statue, because if I saw that statue, I would have been so upset. Like, what is this? What?
Like it's crazy. You know, there is a petition online right now. It currently has 3,000 signatures. People trying to take it down.
I'm gonna have to go on there, because that's
If you want to know a little more about it, and you know, not trying to throw shade, you know, but if you want to know more, go to Fox 25 Boston. They'll have more information. Sorry about that.
it's okay.
I got a phone call. But yeah, if you want to know more information about that, go to my Boston Fox 25. We don't endorse Fox at all on this. Everything we endorse is What's Up People News. We're a Black online media show, giving you the news from a Black perspective. You don't see that a lot. You actually don't see that anywhere.
No. And just in closing, I just wanted to say, before you finish out, I wanted to give What's Up People News some props, because I'm finding out that our topics and our shows come full circle. And if anyone was rocking with us in the beginning, they would see that, like, these things come full circle, because we talked about statues a few months ago, because we specifically talked about, and I don't remember the guy's name, there's a statue in Central Park of that white man who was performing experimental surgeries on Black women.
Yeah, the doctor, and we got into that whole, yes.
Yeah. So, we've been talking about these statues for a long time. So y'all need to keep rocking with us, because we're kind of ahead of the curve here.
We want stuff out there.
I know we want to rough around the edges, but our facts are in line.
Yeah. So
Give
real quick,
give us a like and some thumbs up for that.
Facts. We're gonna switch topic. We're gonna switch gears real quick. Before we sign out, we definitely got to read what the usual suspects have been saying, because the comment section's on fire. It's on fire. My son actually put a comment out there. He said, "Why are police killing Black people? Why? Because were black, and that doesn't give them the right to do it. So big shout out to him. He is absolutely
Yes.
correct about that. We got Holland. If it was only cops, there's also people who think they're cops. Yes, yes. And she used the case of Ahmaud Arbery. Ahmaud Arbery was lynched because hashtag jogging while black. Yes. A quick update. Before we started the show, Lana had just told me about Miss Knowledge had just told me something about a person who just got recently killed in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Was it Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta. The Atlanta police chief resigned today.
Yeah, he actually was lynched. And just the other day,
two different things. Robert Fuller was lynched. That wasn't in Atlanta. I don't remember what state that was.
okay.
I don't have a lot of information on him, but a black man was murdered by the police. That was the guy that was sleeping in Wendy's at the Wendy's drive-thru. He fell asleep and ended up being shot by the police when they.
The man's sleep. The man's sleep. So just a couple weeks ago, there was a Senate bill that would make lynching a federal offense or make it a really, really up there crime. Very, very bad. And Ron Paul of Minneapolis, I think he's from.
Remember where he's from.
I can't remember exactly where he's from, but Ron Paul,
something.
He's a libertarian. He was one of two people who voted down and the bill actually didn't pass.
Imagine that. And you know why he did that? He said he couldn't vote for the anti-lynching bill because say if they just beat up the person real bad or something like that, he didn't want that to fall into a hate crime. Like
that is the dumbest reason.
What? Like, how can you even spit those words out of your mouth, man? Come on, just
now look. Now we're reporting on two different situations where somebody got hanged.
Yeah, Robert.
Or someone did get hanged, and someone that was sleeping. Now, yeah, you don't sleep in a drive-through.
Called for that? Like, I'm just so right, and that's the thing with defunding the police or reallocating that money, because I just don't see why we need the police for all of these things like that. Like, he's literally sleeping in a parking lot, like, or in a drive-through, probably high and or drunk. Like,
and I get it. It's you don't want to fall asleep in a drive-through, but there should be a process. There should be steps. Like, one, how many times has a cop been killed at a drive-through while responding to somebody sleeping in a drive-through? How many times has a police officer lost his life in that particular situation? Give me some numbers and I'll say, all right, you know what? It's justified. But you can't, because it's never happened. If a person is asleep, they're sleeping. Why? Because they're tired.
Right, or drunk, or nodding off. Like, what?
Like they're hungry. But they got the munchies.
What's interesting? Like, so when these people are nodding off on the train, and we see them all the time nodding off on the train, these white people, because they're coming from whatever trip they done took. No one's calling police on them. They just let them nod off and fall off onto the floor, and everyone just watch them fall and be like, oh, they took something bad this morning or whatever. As long as they keep moving. If those were black people nodding off or having that issue with opiates, yeah, they would be calling the T police or someone to come and get them. This is again, it's like, how are you a threat when you're sleeping? I thought you called the police for threats. Why are we calling the police for these things?
If anything, you would call the ambulance or something. Like, if he's drunk, he shouldn't be driving. Okay, get him in the hospital. Give him an ambulance. Take him to where he needs to go. Take him to a detox, or is that for drugs? Is the detox for drugs?
Yeah, I don't know what they do for
Or is that,
I'm not sure. But
well,
whatever.
put them in a holding cell and let them sleep it off.
But
But
if we did have the funding, right, we wouldn't even have to go from police to like call an ambulance. There would be other resources that we could use to come and pick these people up. You know,
right.
we don't
Um,
have that, which is
but
another topic.
no, when we'll get to that, and I think we should talk about that maybe on next week's show, or just have it out there as a discussion.
Yeah,
What does defund the police mean?
right,
Because we want to change the narrative. It doesn't mean getting rid of police. It doesn't
right,
mean that. And a lot of people have the misconception
right,
of that's what it means, and that is intentional. Because the right wing wants police, they still want to keep the status quo. They want to keep things as is. That's a talking point. Do not be swayed by that, regardless if you're here in the States or not. If people are talking about defunding the police, it does not mean getting rid of police. It just means giving them less money and
right,
allocating the rest of it to services that are better trained,
right,
better equipped, and
right,
have the better resources to handle these situations.
right,
Unless the person getting robbed at a bank
right,
is an actual shootout, something where weapons are being drawn, then
right.
I can definitely say, yo, send in the SWAT, send in the police, because that's what they're there for.
Yeah, but someone
If the
having a
person
mental
has
health issue, like why
yes,
on the police for a mental health issue?
no, you call a mental health worker, preferably the caseworker of the mental health patient.
Right, right. And if they can't handle it, or if the person is deemed violent, then we call in the police. But why are we calling people who are not trained to deal with people?
Especially trained police
Right,
that can deal with people
right,
who have mental health issues. Because
right,
sometimes people with mental health issues can get violent, and they don't know their own strength, and they can, and I'm not, they can toss people around. But
right,
if we have people, mental health workers who are trained, or
right,
cops,
right,
a specific unit, not a cop that's a cop and just trained with people with mental, no, a cop that is specifically a cop, but is specifically trained to deal with people with mental health disabilities.
which is this is so funny because so my daughter works, and I know we're wrapping it up, for social services. I don't remember which one, and I probably shouldn't say anyway. My oldest daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and they're trained to like restrain these people or whatever, and they work with like the kids in Department of Youth Services. When those kids escape, like, or when they run, because she's driven in a van and one has gotten away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's a supervisor now, but before that, they didn't call the cops right away. They would have to chase them and try to get them back into the van and try to deal with them and coerce them back, or both of them having to restrain them and get them
Mm-hmm.
back to the site. They didn't call the cops. Like the cops didn't want them to call them. Like they don't want to be called in those instances. The only time they call the cops is when, if someone is being, dangerously violent, or if they can't find them,
Yeah.
then they have to call them because they have to fill out the missing persons report and say that these people are out. But other than that, when those kids are actually in DYS services, DYS people deal with them, not the cops. And the cops should not. Can you imagine if the cops did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that would be a whole nother level of police violence against people who have issues. They don't know what, I mean, some of these kids could be like how we talked about autism.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like to be touched. So if a cop is coming and trying to arrest a kid that is acting out, they're going to get crazy because they don't like to be touched. They're
Yep.
autistic. You can't just touch these people.
Yep.
When we talked about that, and there's something going on because I have a couple of friends that are school police. And so now they're kind of like up in arms because they believe that police should be in schools because that's their job, right? So they're seeing it from a different lens of some of these schools, these kids are violent, they're bringing guns and we're protecting. But then on the flip side, remember we did a story too. Again, What's Up People News is so awesome about those two little girls that had issues in school and they called police and the police took the girls away. And the kids are crying and they have all kinds of issues and autistic and just behavior problems. Anyway, why are we calling the police on them?
No, that is totally wrong. And I think it's almost kind of like, again, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
But it's almost kind of like the pipeline from school to jail pipeline.
Right. Right.
Like, or we want to get them in the system now.
Right.
Now we can always follow them because now they got a criminal record, or even if they're minor, I guarantee, like they're pulling, their cops are pulling unsealed records for minors if they're black or brown. Like I just have a feeling. I don't know that is true,
Probably.
but I just have a feeling like if you're a minor, your records are sealed.
Right.
But I just truly feel that once they say, oh, even though he's 15, we're going to try him as an adult, his records aren't sealed now.
Right.
Because on paper, he's an adult. You know what I mean? Like it's it's a bigger issue. A topic that we need to talk about next time. It is getting late. We're going to wrap this show up.
Yeah, thanks. Usual suspects. Like there's just a lot of my daughter's on here too. So hey.
Yay! Let me read some of these couple more comments before we go. Because again, it was on fire. Holland says it doesn't deliberately. And yes, Stephen Miller would know about Juneteenth. He's been whispering white supremacy narratives in Trump's ear since 2015. His emails have been leaked in 2019. Yes. Thank you, Miss Holland. We got a message from Miss Porter. All they do is on purpose. Going into Tulsa on Juneteenth, when looting starts, the shooting starts. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Trump said that. And then he actually took those words from an older segregationist. I forgot his name, but that's where he's the one that actually coined that term.
George Wallace, and there was an old cop too. I think it was George Wallace was a segregationist and an old cop.
And she also says, all on purpose, come in November, vote, vote, vote. Yes, please. Yeah. If y'all learn anything, vote, register to vote. That's our main message. You don't have to pay attention. Nothing else we say, but just know, vote, vote, vote.
Bree Newsom, that's her name.
Bree Newsom.
Thank you, Edgar. Yeah.
Thank you. We also, another one from Holland. Exactly. It assures by not teaching this history to school kids. The happy slave propaganda was major during the South lost cause narrative. Facts. Thank you. Facts. She goes on, responding to Miss Porter. Yes, Michelle, vote, vote. Hashtag vote him out, because it's all been done deliberately. They know how to run their propaganda lying campaigns. Yes, she hit it on the head. Thank you. Let's see. Hey, thank you, Edgar. NASCAR, just like we said earlier at the top of the show, they removed all their Confederate flags quick, fast, in a hurry. So big shout out to them. I don't follow NASCAR like that, but I do used to get like NASCAR race cars and stuff like that. So I do mess with it a little bit. So that makes me want to watch it more now, knowing that like
the black driver.
Yeah, and there's a black driver. Shout out to him. He's been actually vocal about what's been going on with George.
Car. You see his car? Black.
All black. He got yes. So big shout out to him. Again, I forgot. Oh, Bubba Wallace. That's the most NASCAR name ever.
Bubba, right.
Shout out to the only black NASCAR driver, Bubba Wallace. If you seen his name, you wouldn't know, but big shout out to him.
Yeah, there's gonna be a black bachelor too after 18 years. Not that I watched the show, but things are changing,
Yeah, and so what else we got? Let's see. Uh, we got Holland saying the military is banning the Confederate flag. That's what's up.
Yeah.
The statue represents the Italian culture, unfortunately. I'm not sure what statue Mr. Edgar was talking about,
Which one? Mm.
but that's what he said. He said the statue represents the Italian culture, unfortunately.
Oh, Columbus, maybe? Is that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was Italian.
Yeah,
Or
they.
was he Portuguese? No, he was Italian.
Oh, you know.
Christopher Columbus he was Italian. He was Italian. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right, because I think Como was talking about that. Hmm.
yeah. Um, Edgar says, shout out to the Harriet Tubman statue on the South End. Big shout out. Yes. Harriet Tubman, she's a beast. She's a beast.
Yeah.
With the shotgun, they should have put a shotgun in her hand. She was the one who did she was the first person to do the iconic shotgun sitting in the chair picture. She was the first one.
Oh, Malcolm, huh?
You know, before Malcolm. That's where Malcolm got it from.
Yeah.
That's where he got it from. Real quick, what else we got? We got Edgar from Holland, Edgar True, and indeed, don't keep statues of Mussolini or Hitler. Okay,
Right.
so she was just saying, take down racist statues. There's not even one of Hitler or Mussolini. Yes. Harriet Tubman seen a picture of her Boston statue. Yep. Let's see. Marty Walsh does support removing or changing it. That's what's up. We need white allies, people that actually stand in solidarity. Yeah, they may not understand our experiences, but they understand injustice when they see it. And we need more people. I'm not necessarily saying Marty Walsh is an ally, but
he is. He's a Democrat.
He's taking the steps in the right direction.
Yeah, we're not talking about the other one. What's the governor?
Charlie Baker.
Baker, yeah.
Yeah, but we definitely need allies that's actually going to stand in solidarity and fight the good fight with us. Yeah, we're just talking about Black Lives Matter because they do, but
and that's the minimum.
Well.
That's the minimum. We're just asking to matter. We're not saying love us. We're not saying hug us. Like the minimum is we just want to matter.
Respect us. We're humans. We're not aliens. We don't want us to take us to your leader.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're people just like you. You know.
Minimum matter.
Yep. Let's see. Edgar said at channel 323, Marty mentioned it 6 hours ago. I'm not sure what he was referring to when he said that, but thank you. We got one from Holland. Haven't read up, but heard about the brother at Wendy's sleeping while black. Sucks. Cops in America are armed like our Dutch soldiers, but yes, indeed, they're definitely not skilled enough to handle people with mental health issues. Yes, indeed. We got a shout out. Hi, mommy, love you.
Little Frosty knowledge, yes.
Yep, and that's it. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up. Please like, share, subscribe. We want to be YouTube's next 1,000 subscriber channel.
Yeah.
That actually opens up a lot of more opportunities for us. So please help us reach our goal. 1,000 subs. Watch all our videos. I am your co-host, Frosty McNuggetts.
He's McKnowledge.
Right?
He's tired.
Oh!
Frosty knowledge.
Yes. And again, we're holding it down for Frosty Oreos. He couldn't make it today. But that is the host with the most. He definitely holds it down. Always got a dope perspective. Always got knowledge and jewels to drop. So He couldn't make it today, but hopefully he'll be with us on Thursday when we come back to you again. But please enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the time with your family. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
It's coronavirus.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. We will see you again. Stay frosty, y'all.
Stay
We out.
frosty.
Peace. All right, we signing out, everybody.